What effect has your censorship had on you, both personally and as a business?
The effects of censorship, that's an interesting one. And I think this time it's up to you.
I'm going to say first something that I said a lot. I think Grimm will get it, because I think he understands enough about Portugal culture and Europe history in general. But I keep saying this to people, that first, because of the dictatorship that we had for almost 40 years, it was ended over 40 years. It was I don't know how long, 40 something, yes. So it actually ended the year before Miguel was born. I'm not gonna say, nobody knows where it happened, when it happened.
74.
Yeah.
The revolution, not me.
Yes, exactly. The censorship was a big thing as part of the dictatorship. There was something else called the Blue Pencil. That was basically people that censorship the books, newspapers. So the idea that we have to censor
Now we need
ourselves.
to send some of that in newspapers.
Yes, we should.
Stupid
Well, they don't even have editing. But the idea that we need to censor ourselves because of sensibilities is something that, for me personally, is really hard to deal with. Because I think, although Portuguese are not how I would say, we are very polite, but at least until some years ago, freedom of speech was something really important. It was like almost in our DNA. It was like, I may not agree with what you say, but I will fight for your right to say it.
I think the people that you wear those T-shirts now, they are all woke and love censorship. Obviously, from about my professional background, I don't like censorship. I don't deal well with that.
And we had some stories, not with ourselves, but here with people. Normally it was humorists that were censored by the conservative right, of course. And it's a bit strange that you are opposed to that, and then you are on the other side being censored by the progressive left.
Now, I have to say that, at least during my lifetime, I watched both things that happened, but the conservative right was never. I believe they were probably they would probably have been as severe as the left, the alleged left, the woke left, is being now, but they were never as good at it as these guys are. They never convinced people that they were censoring for the greater good. They were just censoring for conservative reasons. They were censoring things that they didn't agree with.
You cannot talk about the church. You cannot talk about sex.
Do not joke about these things. They are serious things, so you can joke about them. But people would shut up because they had to. They would have, and the canceling was never as effective as this.
Maybe because there was no social media. Also, I will give it that. But I know in US it's different, because
I believe the previous censorship has been as bad as this one. I don't know. I'm not sure. Possibly in the 80s, perhaps.
But I would say how it affects us. Well, the fact that you refuse to be censored.
Yeah, that's a problem. Of course, I wouldn't say that it affected me personally. I think when I started publishing through Postmortem, I started immediately being censored by lots of people and being out of the radar of those guys that would probably be interested in canceling me. So when we started the Red Room, our circle, our circle in the role-playing community was already determined by circumstances, and so there were no people there that would. Well, there were people around that wanted to cancel us, but not close people. So there were no friendships that were ruined, not even social media friendships. People who talked to us when we started were obviously anti-woke, or at least not woke, except people, but they went away quickly. So there were no problems, no direct problems, no people with whom we interacted that wanted to censor us. The people who wanted to censor us were, unfortunately, because I would have preferred to ruin some friendships, but no, it was the store, the almost monopolistic store where we were selling the products, and obviously some media social media woke trolls, and some of them were probably not.
But I don't believe that even some of these people, they're not. Of course, we talk about wokeness because it's whatever you want to, is a good term or not, but it's the name that the people that are now canceling out their shows. So, but I don't think some of them are just taking an advantage for being nasty to other people. In name of.
Well, actually, I'm almost certain that I know the person who was pursuing us, because even yesterday.
If it's just one, because it could be more.
Yeah, well, I know one that probably was the one that if there was a purchase of man, I think that was the guy. Because he was following us on Twitter, I think. I'm not sure about that, but he was getting the mailing list, and he was. And I only found out that yesterday when I was closing the old group. Well, the old.
He was in the old group also.
Yeah, he was there. I didn't know, but he was there. So he probably entered the group before it went private, when it was a Facebook, a public Facebook group. So I didn't know that he was there. So he was there because he wanted information. With the purpose of
I would say there is a silver lining on this, and I'm keep telling this to myself and to Miguel, that is now we don't have to worry. I can say whatever. We don't have to worry about unconsciously censoring ourselves. Though I think our stuff is not. It's not that bad. I would say we are not as edgy as people think that we are. It's just how things are currently. But now you don't have to worry, because is not going to like it, and someone's going to report you.
One thing that I kept in mind, and that's the main self-censorship that I had while at drive-thru. We should have said that we were banned from drive-thru.
I guess everybody knows.
Yeah, probably. People were watching, but maybe not. The one thing that was always on my mind was the mature rating.
Boobs make something mature.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe ultra violence as well. But since we are doing horror games, some of them contemporary horror that may have graphic violence, and even the fantasy where people, especially women characters, sometimes should be scantily clad and wearing bikini armors. Yes.
And
I like bikini armors.
Veil that reveals more than it hides.
Yes.
I love that expression.
So those are things that.
And when you use the mature filter on drive-thru, then you know that less people are going to see your product.
So I was avoiding that, especially not using revealing images. Now I don't have to worry about that. Everything is mature, and it depends on our readers if they want to read it or not. If they want to purchase, or if they don't want to, I don't have to censor anything anymore. About how censorship affected in terms of business. So this was one of the reasons. While we were still at drive-thru, some things weren't published, and some of the things weren't published the way I wanted them. Just to, not that I tried to, well, basically it was avoiding visual images, not text, not content, but visual content, especially when we had access to because before that it was not easy to get. Yeah, it wasn't easy to get boobs. Some images, some art. Some artists, some of the art that you can purchase.
And then in Epoch, that old some of them had pornographic images.
Also that, yes.
It's funny because it's in public domain.
Yeah, it's public domain. It's from the 19th century. But I had to be very careful with that, because it might offend modern sensibilities, even though it didn't offend. Well, maybe it offended.
Yeah, it probably offended.
Yeah, probably. But someone did that, and it was an artist, a serious artist that did. I can't remember the name of the guy who did those illustrations. They weren't pornographic. They were erotic.
No, of course I know they were.
let's say that someone kind of say, well, not famous, but it's a regular artist, not just Nutter. I did some dirty pictures, but I had to be careful because modern sensibilities are easily to offend. So that's so it in terms of self-censoring, it has some small. I would say it was a small problem. Of course, the worst problem in if I think you can include our ban from drive-through as
a problem with
a consequence of censorship. That was the main problem. Of course, we lost. I would say that we lost at least 30. I mean, not we lost at least 70%. We were reduced to 30% of our customer base, maybe even more than that. That's the kind of just from the top of my head.
Is an estimate.
Yeah, it's a very rough estimate of what might have happened, what probably happened after being expelled from there, because they do have the largest and
but there's also another fact that is censorship is of this mentality of you shouldn't buy this book or shouldn't read this book because this person is bad. It makes that it how suffocates the possible growth, right? It's not just to us, it's anyone that is considered a bad person. And we are doing things that are horror, so it will be, and it feels like the people that could be interested in horror, so in problematic content, they were like, oh no, but these people are bad. Yes, I know that, for example, Wretched Darkness, which is supposed to be, I think it is, a mature horror game, that I wrote having in mind that Cult, the role-playing game, which is one of my favorites ever. The old one? The old one, yes. Simply ruined it. I thought, okay, but I'm going to do this one that will be my version of the old one, not the new one. From the old, the new one. It's basically a watered down version. And what I was going to say, I can't remember. About reaching people. Oh yeah, I know that most people. I was expelled also from the Facebook Cult role-playing game. I'm still there, but it depresses me. Yeah, that's it. The people I see there, they are all talking about consent. Yeah, they're all safety tools people. And how they like BDSM and how they like role-playing. Not all of them, but some. Yeah, but how much they like that to bring that into. Yes, I think the role-playing. Well, at the moment I don't know because I'm not there. But when I was there and when those arguments about consent in gaming, when the Monty Cook thing, the book Consent in Gaming, wrote by someone who writes erotic literature and with a BDSM influence. That person brought the concept. I think maybe not. I don't know if it was her, but at least she was in large deal responsible for bringing the concept of safety tools from BDSM to role-playing game. And then there were some people that, I don't know if those people came to role-playing games because of that, or if it was people that already were into BDSM and role-playing games at the same time. They did a crossover. That's ridiculous. Role-playing games have nothing to do with that. Maybe you role-play in that kind of relationship, but it's not the same thing. Playing the naughty professor or whatever they do there and spanking your partner is not the same thing as playing a role-playing game. You don't need safety tools for this, and don't need to just destroy the concept. I remember when those discussions were being had. That's when people were expelled. No, I was expelled later. People were talking about horror and role-playing games as if it was something that would cause that happened to people, right? Yeah, it's like you're just around the table talking. No, but I need the safety tools because when I use them, I can go as far as you are not. I mean, yes, maybe in their case, but I'm sure they are not role playing. They are doing something else.
with their trousers off, probably. That's not role-playing games. If you want to ruin some other people's business or hobby, go and ruin it. Not ours. They aren't. I'm certain that they aren't playing, or if they are playing role-playing games in a normal way, they were exaggerating on purpose and talking about stuff that never happened. Those things, if they happened, if they really happened, they were doing something else, not role-playing games.
I think that's enough.
I think it's probably enough. I'm not sure how long it should be, but okay. So this is how censorship has done its harm to the red room, basically.
That is not 50 Shades of Grey
Oh yeah,
reference.
also that, yes. I think that should be obvious, but yeah, you don't like safety tools, and the name has nothing to do with BDSM, or even less the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.